Hello everyone, I'm Sidhvita, a member of Krino Forensics. Welcoming you all to Module 3. In previous modules, we discussed how forensic science acts as a legal safeguard and how it supports a fair trial. In this module, we are going to address a very important and slightly complex legal question. Can a person can be convicted based solely on forensic evidence? Then the answer is yes, but with caution. Courts have clearly stated that forensic evidence can form a solo basis of conviction, but only when it is conclusive, reliable, and completely free from doubt. Now, this is very important to understand. Courts do not reject forensic evidence. In fact, they highly value it. But they apply stricter scrutiny when it is only evidence is available. So, for conviction based only on forensic evidence, the evidence must form a complete and unbroken chain, and it must point only toward the guilt of the accused, with no alternative explanation possible. That is why, in practice, courts usually prefer corroboration, not because forensic evidence is weak, but because the standard of proof in criminal law is very high, beyond reasonable doubt. Now let's understand when forensic evidence becomes sufficient on its own. Imagine a case where DNA matches perfectly, the chain of custody is intact, the evidence is properly collected, and the expert report is clear and consistent. In such situations, forensic evidence is considered strong enough. So, forensic evidence is sufficient when there is no contamination or tampering, scientific protocols are properly followed, expert opinion is clear and not confusing, and most importantly, it directly links the accused to the crime. For example, a DNA match with high probability, a firearm match through a ballistic examination, or a digital evidence providing presence at the crime scene. In such cases, courts may not require additional oral evidence. But now it comes to other side of the story. Courts demand corroboration in certain situations if forensic evidence is incomplete, uncertain, or poorly handled. Then it cannot be relied upon alone. Corroboration is required when chain of custody is broken, evidence is contaminated, procedures were not properly followed, expert opinion is not conclusive, or when there are other possible explanations. Because remember, if there is even a reasonable doubt, the benefit always goes to the accused. In such cases, courts look for support from circumstantial evidence, medical reports, behavior or conduct of accused, motive or recovery of objects. Now, let's briefly look at the types of forensic evidence. Forensic evidence can be broadly classified into different categories. For example, physical evidence like weapons or clothing, biological evidence like DNA, blood, hair, digital evidence like CCTV, emails, metadata, computer systems, etc. Ballistic evidence, bullets and gunshot residue. Toxicological evidence include drugs or poisonous. We also have pattern evidence like fingerprints, trace evidences like fibers or soil, impression evidence like tire or shoe marks, and documentary evidence like handwriting or signatures. Each type serves a different purpose, but all aim to establish connection, identity, or sequence of events. Now, let's see how courts treat different types of forensic evidences. DNA evidence is widely accepted, but only if it is collected scientifically and properly preserved. Fingerprints are also considered highly reliable, but require proper comparison and expert testing. Ballistic evidence is accepted when the expert can clearly link the weapon to the crime. Coming to digital evidence, it is also accepted under modern laws, but its authenticity must be proved like hash values and metadata. Toxicology reports are valid only when they are properly analyzed by the laboratory techniques. Trace evidence is usually considered supportive, not standalone. So, again, it is not about having evidence, it's about how well it is handled and presented. Now, let's quickly understand with the real case references. In the Nirbhaya case, forensic evidence like DNA, fingerprints, and digital records played a crucial role in conviction. In the Patturajan's case, the Supreme Court warned against relying solely on forensic evidence when there are doubts in procedure. In the Priyadarshini case, DNA evidence became decisive and led to conviction after initial acquittal. And in the Kishan Kumar Malik's case, DNA evidence was strong enough to overweigh even hostile witnesses. So these cases clearly show one thing: forensic evidence is powerful, but only when it is reliable, properly handled, and legally sound. So, to conclude, forensic evidence can be sufficient for conviction, but courts apply greater caution when it stands alone. The strength of forensic evidence depends not just on science, but on procedure, handling, and legal admissibility. With this, we come to the end of Module 3. Thank you for listening. In case if you have any doubts or want us to explain any forensic topics, please comment below so we will cover them in future forensic videos. And the presentation document will be shared on our social media channels. You can access it from there. Stay tuned to learn with Krino Forensics to explore the world of forensic science. Thank you.